for several hours to detain or to confirm the identity of Mr. Davis. And if the State Department is saying that the person who is detained is in fact an American diplomat who has immunity, then that needs to be respected.
Okay, so this person is Raymond Davis, that's for sure. So the State Department is sticking to this thing, that this person who's been detained by the Pakistani authorities over here, his name is Raymond Davis, right? So you're confirming this thing.
If the State Department says this is our diplomat, then that has to be respected. It would be the same thing if the shoe were on the other foot. If a Pakistani diplomat were arrested in the United States and Pakistan then told the New York City police or the Washington police, this is our diplomat, we have no right to then hold him and say we want to confirm that he's really that person. Once the foreign country vouches for their diplomat, says this person has diplomatic immunity, then the receiving country is bound by the Vienna Convention to release the person. And
we're going to talk about the Vienna Convention, John. Just an incident I want to quote over here. In 1997, a deputy ambassador of Georgia was sentenced to 21 years of imprisonment, and he was found guilty of killing an American citizen on a road accident in Washington, D.C. So the immunity of the deputy ambassador of Georgia was withdrawn by the Georgian government, right?
Yes, that's correct. That was a very unfortunate case where a Georgian diplomat was apparently driving drunk in our city and going 70 miles an hour and killed 2 innocent people. But he had diplomatic immunity, which Georgia asserted his immunity, and that was respected. Then the United States asked Georgia to waive his immunity, and Georgia then agreed to waive his immunity so that he could be prosecuted under our local laws. But we did not do that on our own. The United States only was able to prosecute him by law once Georgia had lifted his immunity, and that has not happened in this case. Certainly,
no, we're not talking about that. We'll go on that side too. But at that time, Bill Clinton was the president, right? So there was a lot of pressure by Bill Clinton government on Georgia to uplift the immunity, right?
I assume that the U.S. government asked Georgia to lift his immunity.
In a tit-for-tat response, in 1999, the Georgian government refused immunity to an American diplomat, Laurel Willie, and he was sentenced to 10 years in jail after he killed a Georgian translator in a road accident. So this is that's what happened in 1999. So anyways, let's go to this. We'll ask our guest in the studios also. We're going to talk about the immunity, this immunity which Raymond has got. You know, he has got immunity. But what sort of immunity is this? And then we'll come to you, or you can talk to each other also over here. And Professor, this immunity which Raymond enjoys, what sort of immunity is this? इसको कैसे categorize करेंगे? How will you categorize this immunity?
Well, I'll repeat what I've said earlier, that first let his identity be determined, let the State Department come out clean with the truth so that we should know who is who. Now, Raymond or XYZ, if he is a diplomat, we should know who is he actually. Now, it seems to me, the circumstances that we have around, that he is as an operative, intelligence operative under diplomatic cover. This is what the circumstances suggest, and the State Department is most reluctant, to disclose his identity. Now, when the circumstances suggest that he could be a non-diplomatic personnel, obviously undercover operatives, which abound in this country, it's an open secret. Robert Gates has admitted there are a number of black water agents around in Pakistan. So he could be one of them. That's what the presumption would be. In that case, the case cannot be made out for the immunity of an intelligence operative.
Okay. We have been joined by Sibkatullah Qadri, British lawyer, human rights, immigration and asylum. So he's with us from UK. And John, we have been joined by another guest, Sibkatullah Qadri. He's a British lawyer of human rights and immigration and asylum. Can you hear me, John?
Yes, I can hear as well. It's nice to meet both your guests.
Okay. So, Sibkatullah Saab, we're talking about the Vienna Convention over here, Sibkatullah. And we're talking about the Vienna Convention of 1961. And we're talking about the status of diplomatic status of Raymond Davis over here.
Yes.
My question to the former legal advisor for the State Department was, John, that this is the one question: does diplomatic immunity give people a license to kill?
Well, the diplomatic.
Well,
immunity,
again, as I said, it certainly does not give a license
No, I just want
for
to,
anyone.
No, John. It's like I'm having the Brit, side of version also, So we'll discuss it. We have ample time, and we can do it. This is a question I'm putting to Sibkatullah also, This is a question.
Oh, I see. So you tell me when you'd like me to respond.
You can talk to each other whenever you feel like, There's no restriction to this one. Okay, John?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, Sibkatullah.
Well, the position is this. The Vienna Convention is part of the domestic law.
Okay.
The Diplomatic and Consular Privileges Act 1972 of Pakistan makes it specifically as part of Pakistani law. And therefore, you have to look who has got the immunity, what kind of immunity, and under that convention. Now, the convention clearly provides the head of the mission and deputy head of the mission the immunity from all criminal act prosecutions and civil matters. They can't be prosecuted, they can't be sued. Not for libel, not a contractual breach of contract, etc. But then there's another category of people. There are three categories really, servants, etc. as well. But there's a middle category of people who are working in administrative or technical services, which is Article 37, which gives them immunity from criminal prosecution, not for civil matter. And therefore, one has to look this gentleman, what was his position? Is he an employee of the American embassy? In what category of employment he is? Is he a diplomat? Is he somebody who is working in administrative and capacity? Now, bluntly speaking, one has to you can't have immunity if the embassy does not inform the foreign office of the recipient state, then you don't have immunity. Article 10 says that every embassy has to inform the foreign office of the recipient country the names of people who are entitled to immunity, members of diplomatic mission. Now, the American embassy